Hi guys, I'm Van Orn and this is another Dragonheir Silence God video. Eco of the Sleepless is finally here, the second collaboration between Dungeons and Dragons and Dragonheirs is here, and the possibility for us to basically fight every day, do those tasks to get the chess piece and summon Halminster Almor, the exclusive champions of the collaboration. It's on us basically, and in this video we're gonna have a quick look at the event, the composition you can run to get the maximum rewards from the daily fight. And at the end of the video, we're gonna do the extraction, or I'm gonna show you the extraction of the 10 winner for the prize that I've announced in the previous video. If you like, subscribe, and put a comment on that video, you enter the possibility to basically win 1 Eater dice, 1 scroll, and 250 war marrow. And the winners are going to be announced at the end of this video. But before we get there, don't jump forwards in the video. Let's have a quick look at the event. So as I said, you're going to be able to summon Elminster Almor, a Fire Affinity legendary champion, which is, in my opinion, not OP, but very good for pretty much everywhere you are in the game. He has an AoE, or the big diamond shape, accuracy penalty, and attack penalty. This is very rare to come across in any affinity really, and any rarity. There are not many champions that are able to do this. There are a few obviously, but in the fire affinity it's a skill that is pretty rare. On his battle skills he has also control immunity and a shield, which is going to help your team stay alive. Has a passive that for each debuff on the enemy the hero gains 10 resistance up to 10 stack, so you build him with accuracy, but it also basically gains some of resistance depending on how many debuff you're placing out on the enemy. And he has an enlightenment aura, and his shield skills from enlightenment obviously, and the attack instead, the AoE attack skills from attack and enlightenment. The champion is good, is not OP as I said. I think is good for any kind of progression points you are. If you're early on, a big AoE decrease attack is super useful. If you're late, you're still gonna use him, especially when you have to build all those teams for making Chaos Shadow bosses. Is gonna slot for sure in one of your team, or maybe even for the end game fight. So in the event we have to do some daily tasks. They are magic trails. You're basically gonna jump in here every day. One of this will open, and you're gonna have to fight with all your champions basically to level 100. You don't have to worry about gear or anything. You just jump in, put the composition together depending on what was the task that is required. Some of them, for example, have shield prohibition, like the one on the first day. The second one, I believe, is healing prohibition, and one of the next one is healing prohibition. So you just have to read whatever task they require you to do, put together a comp that doesn't have that prohibition that is in the task, and you're going to be able to do it pretty easily usually. The second part is going to be fighting the boss every day for the duration of the event to get the chest piece and be able basically to reduce the number of dice you need to pull. And the last one obviously is going to be summoning. You're going to be jumping into the portal and summoning dice on this banner basically until you're going to get 240 chest piece. That doesn't take much of a skill. It takes only a bit of collection of dice, and hopefully you have enough to be able to do the event. If you take part to everything, basically you do the entire storylines, you do the boss every day, you do the task, I believe you're probably going to be able to summon the champion, one copy of the champions with less than 20 dice. You have to be particularly unfortunate, I believe, to do more summon for one copy once you have all the rest of the chess piece. You can also summon multiple copies of this champion. If you're lucky, even with 20 dice, you can get 2 copy. You can basically inspire the champion, or go to the shop and be able to buy the artifact, which is exclusive for this event. And if you go here at the exchange, there's a token shop. As you can see, you can basically purchase the book, which is really good. As I said, you increase the shielding amount and the lasting of the shield, and it has enlightenment as a substat, so it's quite good for any of your shielding champion like Adolphus or Nathaniel, or even Mr. Almar. I wouldn't really buy too much of the rest, to be honest, unless you're gonna pull a lot of dice. Or if you have some left over, maybe at the end of the event, obviously you can sneak out some of this. But we are not talking about that tonight. We are not pulling dice tonight. We are talking about the event. And so let's jump in. The Cult of the Dragon Fortress. As you can see, I've been able to do 26 million point six today. And we're going to have a look at all the comps I tested. And let's have a look at the animation first, because obviously Dragonheir, as usual, makes it very, very beautiful. And basically we're going to fight this boss with our enemy on top, and we can bring any of our champions. They're all to level 100. There is no gear involvement, and we can just place our champion up there. The only thing you're gonna have to consider is the scrolling. If you have champions that are not scroll, they're not gonna be scroll over here neither. So try to put together comps with champions at their best possibility, and so you can get max reward. The first comps I want to talk about is going to be basically an only rare that got me around 9 million. And you can put it together very easily because Exandra is the rare that everybody gets. And then we're going to bring it in only rare around her. And all of them are going to do a lot of damage. And they're going to basically improve their damage through poison. She's going to be the main healer. She's scroll for me. I'm gonna bring Eli, which is an absolutely incredible damage dealer. His crit rate is 100%, and this build, obviously, again, no gear. The stats are just built. I've scrolled him, and he does more damage when there is poison out. And so we bring in people with poison. Jijo is our control, is gonna push back the ultimate energy, is gonna place healing prohibition, because the boss also takes more damage for any debuff you place on him. And he's going to place the attack penalty, small version, so the team is going to stay alive for longer. Not too much, to be honest, because obviously we bring it only rare. We're going to pair with him Letalis. Letalis is also another good rare. I don't have even a scroll him. And he's going to heal, but he's basically place the same stuff. He's going to place the healing prohibition. He's going to do damage over here and reduce the ultimate energy again. And he's going to place the attack penalty. We'll have a chance to place the attack penalty through the passive. And the last champion is going to be Dench. Dench is also a poison champion. Apply poison and do damage. And he's a good damage dealer. I don't have him scroll neither. But you can do with this team 9 million. Now, I have the full Psychic Core. Elemental Affinity, it's maxed out. And obviously we are late game, so for me, getting 8 million with this comp is pretty easy. I basically just put them together, select the aura of Eli, press play, came back 5 minutes later, and it was over 8 million. And for me, what's done. For you, if you are early game and you started playing probably not long time ago, maybe you don't have scrolls for all this champion, it's going to be more difficult. But maybe you are lucky enough to have some of the epics, and those are making your life for sure much easier. Now, obviously, you can bring Horus. Horus is a good damage dealer. He has poison and poison explosion. He does a ton of damage. His max crit rate. He has a good crit damage over here. You can basically substitute him to any of the DPS. You can bring Corin. Corin also has a top up crit rate, good crit damage. He plays poison, does poison explosion. I'm gonna put up on the screen another comp with this two, and I've paired them with Furbat. For example, if you have Furbat, you could probably drop Exandra, because you're gonna group your champions like this. You're gonna have the big version of the decrease attack, so you can bring more damage, and your comp is gonna stay alive for longer. Having some of this epic is gonna make your life way easier. And so that is probably the best upgrade you can get. If you have any of these champions and you have them scrolled, you should be able to get above the 8 million quite easily. You can play also with other affinity. I've tried a team with the wild and I got above 14 millions, I believe. But it was a bit more like a more advanced comp, and it didn't perform that well, to be honest. And the other team I've tried and got good result with is obviously the Ice Blast. If you have Ardred or if you have Garius, any of the two really, you can combine epics and rare from the Ice Blast. You can bring in a lot of damage. You can bring in one of you decreased attack from Radiant or Ice, and you're gonna get way more damage than what you need. My comms went close to 24 million if I don't remember wrong. I'm gonna put it up on the screen anyway. And that it's not heavy on legendary. And obviously Ardred is champions that you can get in season 2. If you are in season 1, you're lucky enough to get Garius is gonna carry your team anywhere. You don't need to get to 24 million, that's the point. And Ice Blast, I know, is available only in season 2, so it's not for you, but you can run Dauntless instead. I've run quite successfully a Dauntless team. You can bring Altair, you can bring Nimbus, you can bring Vanny. They're all very good damage dealer. You can bring your Furbat if you want to combine with them to keep them alive, place the decrease attack, and you're going to be doing a lot of damage with that comp too. There are plenty of solutions. Obviously, depends on where you are in the game. As I show you, there is also a comp for only rare. So from there on, you can build your team based on that. Now, enough about this. The fight is going to be pretty easy for the next 6 days, I believe. And then the fight is going to start to getting slightly more difficult. But the boss feels quite easy compared to last season where we had to do 11 million was a bit more difficult, and I believe the developer understood that, especially in season 1, it's not that easy to get to 11 million, and so they turn it down. And for us, our late game is kind of a walk in the park, to be honest. So let's jump out of this one and let's talk about the giveaway. I am really happy because finally I can show you the winner of the giveaway, and they're going to be all up here on the screen. Hope you guys are going to enjoy the rewards. It is a pleasure for me to be able to give back to you something. It's a grind. YouTube is a grind. I've started only a little bit more than 3 months ago. We are getting close to the 1,000 subscribers, and I couldn't be more grateful to all of you to watching my content. And so I hope to be able to give back more giveaways like this. I'm looking forward for the next one. Thank you again, guys, and I'm gonna see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God.